New Orleans, 1918. A city pulsing with jazz, secrets, and shadows, where music bled through the walls at night, and sometimes so did murder. This was an era when the air was thick with the scent of magnolias and moonshine. Streetcars clattered through narrow lanes. Brass bands marched in second lines by day and vanished into dim speakeasies by night. But something darker walked alongside the rhythm. It started with a whisper, a gruesome killing here, a bloodied bed there. But it wouldn't stay quiet for long. Like a low note rising in a haunted melody, fear crept in slowly. Murmurs turned to headlines. Panic took root. Because someone had begun breaking into homes at night and attacking people in their sleep. Not with poison, not with a gun, with an axe. A brutal, intimate weapon. One that splintered not only skulls, but the illusion of safety. Doors were no defense. Locks meant nothing. Before we swing into the nightmare, hit that like button, subscribe to Dark Crimson Files, and tap the bell so you don't miss a single chilling case. Trust us, this one's gonna stick with you. This is the story of the Axeman of New Orleans, America's jazz-soaked, axe-wielding phantom. A killer who didn't just haunt a city, he made it dance to his tune. May 1918. The first known victims, Joseph and Catherine Maggio, slaughtered in their own bed, their throats slit with a razor, skulls crushed with an axe. The murder weapon belonged to Joseph. The killer had used the couple's own axe. There was no robbery, no sexual assault, just rage, just precision. And then he vanished. Vanished like smoke in a jazz parlor, leaving only blood and broken lives in his wake. The Maggios' quiet home, once a refuge of domestic peace, became the site of a waking nightmare. Detectives stood baffled, neighbors whispered in fear, and the press ran wild with speculation. Weeks later, another couple. Louis Bassumer and Harriet Lowe, same method. Nighttime, bludgeoned in bed. The axe? Again, it was theirs. The headlines had a field day. But there was no espionage, only more blood, more questions, fewer answers. And all the while, the city of New Orleans began to lose sleep. By March 19th and 19, New Orleans was in a state of terror. Families nailed their doors shut at night. People slept with weapons under their pillows. Fear had soaked into the bones of the city. Jazz still played, but quieter now. As if the notes themselves were holding their breath. And then the Axeman broke his silence. A letter arrived at the Times-Picayune, the city's biggest newspaper, dated March 13th, 1919. It read, "They have never caught me, and they never will. They have never seen me, for I am invisible. I am not a human being, but a spirit and a demon from the hottest hell." The language was theatrical, but the threat? Real. He claimed he would return and murder again. But he gave the city a strange ultimatum. "I am very fond of jazz music, and I swear by all the devils in the nether regions that every person shall be spared, if jazz is being played." It was a challenge drenched in madness and melody. March 19th became a citywide concert. Jazz rang out from every home, bar, and dance hall. Pianists played until their fingers bled. Brass sections wailed into the night. From every corner of the Crescent City, music rose, a desperate symphony against death. That night, no one died. The murders returned weeks later. Grocer Charles Cortimiglia, his wife Rosie, and their 2-year-old daughter Mary were attacked. Only Rosie survived. The Axeman always targeted Italian grocers, always attacked at night, always used the homeowner's own axe. It was almost ritualistic, predictable in its unpredictability. The city had a pattern. but no face, no fingerprint, no lead. And yet, people claimed to see him. A shadow slipping into the night, a figure in black outside their windows. He became more than a killer. He was a legend forming in real time, a boogeyman dressed in myth. Some said he moved like a ghost. Others believed he was one. Children whispered about him in schoolyards. Adults crossed themselves at the mere mention of his name. The Axeman wasn't just stalking the streets, he was dancing through people's minds. If you're deep into this case already, drop a comment below. What do you think the Axeman really was? Maniac, demon, or something in between? August 10th, 1919. The last known victim, Sarah Lawman. She survived barely. She couldn't describe her attacker, only that she'd been hit with an axe and left for dead. She was lucky. Others hadn't lived to speak. And just like that, the killing stopped. No arrest, no confession, no trail. A silence thicker than blood settled over New Orleans. Some say the Axeman moved cities. Others say he died. But the most chilling idea? He never left. He just stopped playing. And in a city that lives and breathes music, that silence was deafening. Theories were endless. Some believed it was a deranged butcher. Others swore it was a jazz musician seeking vengeance or chaos. There were names whispered behind closed doors. Suspects pulled in and released. Rumors flew faster than bullets. The supernatural crowd said he was a literal demon, drawn to sound and fear. A music-fed entity who thrived on dread. He wasn't just a killer, they said. He was an idea. A curse born in the bayou, but nothing ever stuck. The Axeman was never caught. He left behind no name, no motive, just a dozen victims, a city in panic, and one unforgettable letter. That told us exactly when death would dance next. He came through locked doors. He killed with your own tools. No lock could keep him out. No prayer could hold him back. He was the embodiment of dread, a figure that struck not just at flesh, but at the soul of an entire city. And he stopped only when the city played him a concert. A night when jazz wasn't just art, it was a shield. When trumpets and saxophones became weapons of survival, the killer had forced the city into a strange, feverish pact: play or perish. The Axeman of New Orleans didn't just murder, he orchestrated fear. Each killing was a movement in a dark symphony, each letter a verse in a chilling refrain. He blurred the line between man and myth, madness and melody. And in a city built on rhythm and blood, his song still lingers. In alleyways where the shadows dance, in bars where the horns scream too loud, in the hearts of those who remember. The Axeman may have vanished, but his music still plays just beneath the surface. If you want more twisted mysteries like this one, subscribe to Dark Crimson Files, share it with your true crime crew, and drop a comment below. Would you have played jazz that night? We'll be watching and listening.